Hi there guys, hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to be checking out this Fiat Coupe, a 20 valve turbo. A customer has purchased it for, wait for it, £2,000, which is remarkably cheap for a 20 valve turbo. So let's have a look over it and see how much needs doing to it and whether it was worth the money you paid for it. So righty-ho, here it is, and as you can see straight away it's got a few Temu specials added to it. I think they are absolutely ugly, and when I get it out on the ramp and open the bonnet, I bet they have no function at all, because I know under the bonnets of Fiat Coupes and there's nothing there to secure the bonnet down to. And those stupid spot lamp holders, I would call it, they are. Headlights are faded. Bodywork on the bonnet is in a shocking state. We've got a massive crack on the windscreen. I would say that that's an MOT fail. It doesn't quite come within the wipers, but if I was doing MOT, I'd fail that. Damage on the bonnet, peeling on the door, peeling on the wing mirror, dents on the roof. It's about to start peeling on the roof as well. You can see how faded that is there. Rear quarter is damaged as well here. As you can see, it's had a proper bit of an accident. So yeah, that has been pushed in, so that needs a good bit of tug to fix that. The bonnet doesn't fit as well, so it's had a major bump on the rear end, this has. I'm going to open the boot and have a look in the boot. Yep. You see how that's all pushed in there, and you've got a massive gap compared to here where you haven't. Boot floor is also crumpled in, and I've also tried to seal it with some matting. Yep, so that has had a major bump at the back there. I would like to think the customer is aware of that, but that whole rear quarter is pushed in. Not looking good. Light rings need to come out and be repainted, so does the rest of the bodywork. That is in really bad shape indeed. A bit of bird poo on it, damage on the sill, more peeling on the door, peeling on the wing mirror. Have we got a panel that doesn't actually need any work? No, we haven't. The front bumper needs paint as well. It's not looking very good from the start, is it really? That is quite atrocious, and with that damage at the rear, that's going to easily be 1,500 quid on its own to pull that out, straighten that out, fill that, paint it, and we're not talking about the rest of the bodywork yet either. So that could be an expensive mistake, that rear end, sorting that out. Let's move on to the interior now. We have got some aftermarket sporty seats. Will my fat belly fit in those? We'll try in a minute. So let's try and get into these seats now. Are they fixed as well? No, you can move them back, so that's a bit better. Right, I'm in. Oh, headlining. Look at that. I feel like I'm in Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice 2. That has, oh my God. That's just been aerosoled. That is the right width for a 2-inch piece of masking tape. And you can see there where it hasn't quite been put to the cloth and it's oversprayed. So yeah, we need a new headlining. The rest of the interior, let's go over it. Right, dashboard dirty but okay. You can see that crack in the windscreen a little bit more. It's got the dials around the instrument cluster and a little ducky. My son will be happy by that. The center console has been painted gloss black. Doesn't look too bad, bit of a run there. But, you know, not a bad job, that. Rest of the interior, we are missing a parcel shelf. We're missing the grab handles up there for the rear passengers. And the same on that side. There they aren't. So yeah, I'm not even going to bother going over everything works here, but we'll start it up and see if we can listen to it, because we know these engines do sound the best. Starts up okay. And get full oil pressure. Boost gauge works. Engine actually sounds pretty sweet, to be honest. Can't hear no tapping, no knocking. Seems pretty good. I'm just checking for any signs of steam or anything out the bonnet, and we're all good. So let's get it in and on the ramp, and we'll check under the bonnet out next. Will it stay up? Yes, it will. It's also got these stupid bonnet locks fitted to it, both sides. Look absolutely horrendous. And they have no function whatsoever at all, because where they're installed, it would bolt to nothing. So, what have we got underneath here then? We have a really badly positioned air filter. It should be in here with a long pipe going through to it so you can get all the nice, clean, cool air, but instead it's having all the warm, dirty air from the engine bay, meaning it's sapping horsepower. That's immediately one thing that needs changing. It wouldn't take too much just to buy the right pipe, a little bit of an aluminium bracket in there just to make it sure it's all nice and safe down there. So that's not too bad. It's the turbo version, but it's had all the pipe work removed, so it literally just goes straight through in. Updated silicone hoses, which is not a bad thing to do on these because all the hoses are getting a little bit worn now. Usual rust on the front panel. Rest of the chassis legs look pretty good actually, that's quite surprising. Inner edge of the bonnet, really good as well. Is that a little bit of rust coming through there? I can't tell, it looks like dirt to me. Unfortunately we've got some up here coming through. Nothing major along there. Nothing coming through there yet. And down there he's all good too. So far, other than the crappy air filter, seems all good on top. Let's have a look round it going up in the air and we shall see what horrors we can find. Right, so let's start at the passenger side front. We have got grooved and drilled brake discs. The brake pads still look really healthy, if you can see down there. We've got upgraded the springs. I don't think the shockers are upgraded, but I'll check that when it's more up in the air. Behind it, really good for rust. A little bit of rust down there in that corner there, and a little bit further down there. Rust along the front wings and front sills. Sill damage, it looks like jacking damage to me here. Unfortunately, the rear quarters are starting to go quite badly as well. It still seems quite solid all underneath the bottom and all the way around the rest of the arch. So something can be done with that, and it's blowing out there as well, so that can be repaired. Rear brake protector stone guards are rusting away, but you can still get your hands on those if you're really lucky. Brake pads still have about half of their life left in them. Now going down the driver's side, again unfortunately we have rust, which does seem to be the Coupe's worst enemy. A little bit starting to come through there. See, we know it needs a repaint anyway. Sills, no jacking damage on this side. A little bit of damage to the arch liner. I can see a bit of an oil leak going on in the engine down there. Belt looks in reasonable shape. Rust coming through here. Everywhere else looks okay on this side. Wheels need refurbishing though, they're in quite a bad state. So it seems that the bodywork is a little bit worse for wear, more so than the engine. Let's get it up in the air now and see any rust horrors are underneath. Right, underneath here I'm going to check mainly for rust because it seems like this is the car's biggest problem. Some rust going on the rear end here. Up there is a little bit soft. Up on the rear chassis rails, they look okay. It's starting to come apart a little bit, but I can't see any holes yet. But you'd find out more if we took the rear arch liners out. And again, up there, that looks pretty good. Upgraded shockers at the back, and it's got adjustable rear springs. You can see more of the rust on the rear brake stone guard. Let's move on to the passenger side floor pan. A little bit of rust coming through there, a little bit there. Oh, that's actually pretty good there. It's been treated here. No signs of welding yet. That is actually pretty good. Got some under seal coming off up there. Driver's side now, big dent where it's been jacked in the wrong place. But again, I am really pleased with that. That is not bad at all. So this side has been treated, but this side hasn't, which is a bit weird. Again, up there is really common, and that looks pretty good. Of course, it's got the aftermarket exhaust. Toy Sports, never heard of them. Aftermarket cat on it, super mini one, so nice little sports cat. Front pipe normally takes a bit of worse for wear damage, and it looks okay. The front manifold is heat wrapped. Under the engine, we've got a few oil leaks going on in various places. It looks like it's coming from this Jubilee clip, one of them. Or from the top of that Jubilee clip anyway. Oh no, it's coming from the turbo intake pipe by the look of it. Can you see there, you got that little drip coming off, so above that is where it stops, so that's going to be coming from there somewhere. Oil leak on this side of the engine too. Can't really work out where that's coming from because there's too much stuff in the way. Oh, okay, see that problem there, look? I'm going to tighten that up now. Not surprised the rubber on this is a bit worn out with that bolt being loose, so it needs a new tyre on the front as well. That's getting close, but still okay. A little bit of a noise coming from this drive shaft as well. What I have noticed here is it's going to need a little bit of welding. You can see a hole there and it's already gone along there. So the arch liners do need taking out on this to have a proper look. Nothing leaking from the gearbox from what I can tell. We've had the rear engine mount painted. Front subframe doesn't really have any rust on it at all. I'm quite impressed with that. Powerflex bushes on the wishbone. Upgraded intercooler, which is rather battered, and wouldn't surprise me if we're going to have some holes there soon, if there's none there already. Would there be a better way of routing that? I don't think there is. There's just not enough room down here to route this any better. So the intercooler pipe is actually folded in over itself, so there's a massive restriction here. Is there any way of fixing that? Yeah, you need to cut the front bumper off and have the pipe work coming around the front of the car, actually. Yeah, a bit awkward that. What I'd probably do, I don't know what to do with that. I think maybe cut out a bit of the back of the bumper and have it routed in front and then go in behind into the turbo. But yeah, that's definitely a massive restriction in boost there. So I think that's about it for the underside. I will give it another thorough check off camera. But yeah, loose bolts, sorted those out. It does happen, unfortunately. Sometimes they're just not torqued up right and they will come undone. Sometimes the threads can stretch on the wishbones themselves if you use cheap wishbones, and they can come undone that way. Sometimes you can just forget to torque up a bolt, and that unfortunately is the life of a mechanic. A little bit of a whiff of fuel around the back here, so we might want a new seal on the fuel pump. I'll see if it smells inside the car. So I'm just doing further checks off camera, and I thought I'd add this. The wheel bearing's actually gone on this car, so if I stay quiet for a minute, you might be able to hear it. And see the movement in the wheel. So guys, do you think this customer has had a good buy for £2,000, or do you think he's bitten off a bit more he can chew with how bad that bodywork is? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.